Welcome to the Knock Doors to Buy Doors Challenge. If you guys are here, you're probably wondering how you can run into real estate deals right now in sales. The truth is, you have the best opportunity right in front of your face, being in sales, talking to thousands of people every single day. Coming from alarm sales and then doing solar, I bought my first property my senior year of college. You have real estate deals come across your plate and you don't even know it. To prove it to you guys, I'm gonna go out to the field and get a deal in every single industry: solar, roofing, pest control, alarms, permanent lights, windows, insurance. So we're gonna take this to the field day one, going out there with Mac, and we're gonna hit the doors selling roofs. Knocking for roofs, just like any other door-to-door experience, you're gonna have a lot of no's.
Well, it's hail damage. I can prove you. 250 bucks if you want to bet.
Sell your wares elsewhere.
You're missing hella shingles, man. Decide you know.
I don't own this house.
We even had one resident here in the neighborhood tell us a crazy story about some past situations that have gone on right there in the neighborhood.
The husband got killed. They shot at the kids, but the kids were able to get into the neighbor's house. Right here, they had a crazy person on the corner. Vice dude was on that shit. Kicked in the front door, people in the house started shooting at him. All he had was a knife, right? So he ran out of the house, jumped the fence, and was hiding in the play place in the backyard.
Oh my God. Cracked out of his mind.
Cops were like combing the neighborhood, looking for a crazy person with a knife.
Between all the door knocking, we actually were able to stumble across a really good real estate lead that Max had previously sold this homeowner the roof.
I want to break down this deal. What happened with this deal that we're going to be potentially buying?
John, the previous homeowner, he was a referral. They told me to come over for hail inspection.
Right.
After that, we got the roof inspected, adjuster meeting, everything. John goes hospitalized. He falls and he has 3 different types of cancer.
Jeez.
So he fell on an ulcer and it popped in his arm. And so he'd been in the hospital for 30 days. Yeah, alive, well, healing. Then his cancer kicked in 3 days before he was about to leave the hospital.
The long story short, this dude sells a roof, homeowner passes away. This house has almost no equity. It's not in bad shape at all. He bought it 2 years ago. It owes
He overpaid for it on a VA loan with no money down.
Exactly, so he put 0 down and then he doesn't have a ton of equity because he only owned it for 2 years. So they owe about $245. They're inheriting this house and now they owe more than what it's worth. If they sell it on the market, they're gonna have to bring money to the table. We walk in there, basically show them we can buy it subject to, just take over their payment. So we can either wholesale this, go make probably 10 grand, just send it to someone else, or we just take over their payments, rent out the house. Won't rent it for a ton more, but if we leave the furniture in there, it'll cover the payment.
It'll cash flow.
Pretty crazy deal if y'all want a house for the Killeen.
Yeah, anybody in Killeen, give us a
You just
shout.
got this knocking doors, right?
Yeah, just straight up knocking.
Happens all the time.
This lead that Max set for me was a great subject to lead for a rental property. They didn't have enough equity and they inherited this property. If they sold it on the market, they would actually have to pay money to sell this house. And you're gonna hear some of the in-house close.
I just wanted to see if there's something we can do to help, because it sounds like a little bit of an odd situation. We buy a lot of houses.
He does all my real estate transactions and everything.
Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah.
So he's the one who knows everything about the real estate side of things. And that's why I was like, at least let him give you the full idea, because he's been through this before.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these houses in Killeen were bought, I'm assuming, on a VA loan. Mm-hmm. So they have almost no equity, and then the market hasn't really gone up since then. The interest rates have gone up, so the prices kind of stay the same or dropped a little. And then they have no down payment, so like if you sell it on the market with a realtor, you're kind of pushing a price that's higher than what it might be worth. And if it doesn't sell at that price, you paid 3 to 6% to an agent plus closing cost commissions, and now you're netting less oftentimes than what the payoff is. So some people out here have had to bring money to the table to sell their house, which is not ideal, obviously. So what we do in those situations, we buy it. It's called subject to the existing mortgage. So it's super cool. It's only done when either there's not enough equity or someone's behind on payments, or maybe the house has just been sitting forever and it can't sell. So what we do is we actually pay all the closing costs. We buy it as is, but no investor, unfortunately, is going to buy a house cash at full price. Only a retail buyer would, but then you're having to pay all those closing costs and commissions. Or we take over the payments on the existing financing. So we buy the house, we get the title, we do all that. We set up a promissory note with title. But yeah, I mean, I can work with our attorney and look at it.
This homeowner is now gonna be able to get out from under this mortgage without having to lose money selling their house. This could be a pretty crazy deal because Max will be getting a large commission on the roofing side of things and get him a little extra commission on top. Whether we wholesaled it and made, about $10,000 commission, or we could pay basically the closing costs and buy this property together, and he could have a rental property that he could hold on to.
We just got this deal under contract 2 weeks ago from a Google ad. Lady just figured out after 10 years that she still owns this house. Right before it fell into foreclosure, basically the bank went under and there's squatters in the property. We're about to see who these squatters are, and
We just tell them that, hey, you gotta go.
this will be interesting, but let's see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
So we decide that we're gonna go knock on the door.
I'll go do the talking.
Hello?
Sure enough, they don't answer. I ended up knocking on the neighbor's door to see if we could get a better idea of the situation. Not many of the neighbors knew much about it. They'd seen the homeowner, or I guess the squatter, come and go, but no one had really spoken with him.
We're trying to get a hold of these people. Do you guys know them?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Appreciate it.
All right, we're about to call Max and figure out what the value of that roof deal was that he sold that we tried to buy their house subject to. That roofing deal with the family that we were trying to buy sub to, what would be the commission on that one?
About $9,000.
About $9,000 that they had, and it was about a $4,000 commission.
It'll cost $9,000 to do the roof roughly. Insurance is given $22,000.
So it'll be like a $12,000 spread. That's sick. Day one on the doors for roofing, I actually wasn't expecting to go out and knock for roofs that day. Max keep hitting me up because he wanted to see what we had going on with real estate. I was like, hey, I'm stopping by this property. While we were in that neighborhood, we checked out the house, and then I was like, hey, let's hit some doors for roofs right here. He's like, I got a little bit of time, and I also have a real estate lead that I need you to stop by. So long story short, we knocked that neighborhood. We went out there. We had some good qualified leads. Probably one good conversation that you saw there. He had a lead that we broke down already in Killeen, where it was a good sub 2 lead that we're still working on. We didn't have a ton of time to knock extra doors for roofs. A lot of people didn't answer in this neighborhood. Not a ton of answers on the doors. Classic objections. Some people being pretty rough. I don't know if it was the time of day or what it was. We didn't get enough conversations in. At the end of the day, roofing is a great opportunity. The homeowner needs a new roof. You know, the insurance is going to cover it. It might have a small deductible, but it needs to get done. There's a lot of commissions to be paid on it. Hopefully we'll be out here, whether it's with Max or one of our other guys, and we can actually go see a whole deal get through.